Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome to the Wild at Heart show, Real, Authentic, Uncut. This is the show for men, by men, about men, here on USA Global TV and Radio. I'm the host of the show and the creator. My name is Roland FRIEDL. And yeah, besides of the shows, I do the Mallorca Connection here on USA Global TV and Radio, where we interview interesting people. We also do the Wild at Heart show as now. Also the Earth Show together with my colleague MARCIN and together with the founder and the CEO of the station of Dr. Jürgen Kerbeck, we do It's Your Healthy Lifestyle. And now it's time for the men's show. And today's topic is, what are the levels of passion in a relationship? Yeah, or the last two shows we talked about how passionate can men be in general. And today we want to talk about, because we found out that we should also bring in relationship passion in a relationship. That's what we're going to talk today. We are free today. It's not me, only me. And yeah, and if you missed one of the other shows, please go on USA Global TV and Radio or on our website on bonfiretalks.com. When you click on episodes there, you find all recordings of all the previous other shows. But let's get started and bring on the two other gentlemen who joined me today on this interesting discussion. So let's welcome from Germany, my dear friend, Christian.
Hi, guys. Hi, Roland. Man,
Hi,
first of all, I got to say, you're looking great, man.
Thank you. Yeah, I tried to do my best. Thank you.
Oh.
Good to have you on the show back.
Yeah. I'm curious about this one again. And, well, we'll see what Red has to say. Let's bring him up. What do you think?
Yeah, let's bring up Red from Texas, from the U.S. Red.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy,
Hey, Red.
Hi, Red. Hi, Red. Great to see you.
Nice to be seen.
Great to have you on the show, guys. Yeah, so, yeah, the topic is, we continue the other shows we have been talking about how passionate can men be, and then we found out maybe we should also talk about passion specifically in relationships. And I guess there are different levels, because, you know, when you see somebody the first time, or when you date somebody for the first time, or when you stay longer engaged, or when you stay married for a long time, or just in a relationship for a long time, maybe there are different levels. I don't know. Maybe there are, maybe not. I'm not an expert on that. But let's find out, because it's an interesting show. You know, I know, Red, you are married happily for many years. Christian, I guess you have been married too. I was married twice and had some relationship. So let's get started. Whoever wants to join in?
Back in the 60s and 70s, there was a TV show called The Addams Family.
Yeah.
Morticia and Garcia, whatever his name was. I think
Gomez.
You're right. We're absolutely by far, I mean, head and shoulders above any other TV show on passionate relationship. You know, if you just take a look at the way the two of them, you know, respond to each other, their verbal cues, their eyes, their hugging, their everything, there was no doubt in anybody's mind that they were a passionate couple. And nobody has ever come even close to that on TV. I mean, it's just, it's a level way far. Now, is that exaggerated? Well, maybe for that show, because of the genre they were in, with the eerie and spooky and stuff. But the relationship that you saw on screen was by far, the most passionate that you would see. And I'm talking about bedroom. I'm just talking about, they walk by each other, and the looks and the comments and everything that they make, the smiles, all those kinds of things. I don't know if you all agree or not, but that's my opinion on that one.
I remember the show. Wasn't it in black and white?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember it. Yeah, it was only fun to see. Yeah, but actually, when you talk about it, Red, yeah, I remember it. They were sparkling, or the contact of the air. Absolutely, yeah. I guess he was always so in love with her when he looked at her. I remember that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you're looking at passion in a relationship, it could be. It's more than just being courteous. I think we all have just a simple. We open the door, we do things for people. But it's more than that. It has to be, because if that's your soulmate, that's the person who's your whole reason for being alive. There are some times that maybe either one, the wife or the husband, doesn't want to be passionate in public, which is a fair statement. You don't want to grab their arms, put them up over their head, push them against the wall, and you get 15 people around staring at you. That's not. It's passion, but it's not appropriate passion. So there's things that appropriate passion. I think I don't think you can have a long-term relationship and not have some level of passion in there that's renewed on a regular basis.
Yeah,
that's true. But in my opinion, if I watch couples, they have strange ways showing their passion sometimes. Like Morticia and Gomez, they are, as far as I know, they're always respectful. And even if Morticia starts throwing knives at him, he goes like, "Oh, look at the elegance. Oh, this is so great. This is so great." He's always so into love with her, and he tells her, I love that. So when I watch people nowadays, yeah, there's passion, but there's more like they're living it out in a feeling of anger and stuff like that. So I don't like that too much.
Well, just saying "I love you" to somebody, whether there's others around or not, even if you just look over and just whisper in their ear, to me that's a level of passion that just keeps the relationship going. I mean, I tell my wife that minimum a dozen times a day, sometimes much more than that. And sometimes we're just sitting there watching TV, the commercials come on or something, and I'll not shout it at her, but I'll look over and look at her, and or in the car, whatever it may happen to be. So I think it's one of those things that it's recognizing that the love exists, and part of that love is being passionate on occasion where it's appropriate.
Yeah, and another thing is like what language of passion you speak. Like, are you a touchy person? So you show your passion in touching people, like a hug, like just walking by or stuff like that, and having a little touch when you walk by, or is it in words, or is it in presence, stuff like that?
Well, sometimes you just need a long hug just because it generates a lot of oxytocin, which makes you feel good. So there's a biological response in the body from a hormonal respect that just that hug, even if it's 15, 20, 30 seconds, is enough to just make you feel good. It's like, take a deep breath and hold it. And I usually say, take a deep breath, hold it for 30 minutes. But most of the time, just hold it for a few seconds. But those things do change us, and just the mere act of a hug, I think, goes a long, long ways to just. It's another way of saying I love you.
Yeah. A hug is very healing. It's very healing.
But this is something. Oh, this is great. I got something. So when I see people hugging each other and they start just touching here, only the shoulder parts, they go like the back stays behind and only the shoulders are touching. So this is like, man, what is this? This is not hug. This is, I don't know what is this. A real hug for me is like touching whole body, like from up to from head to toe, and really tight. That's a hug.
Yeah, you can see it much sometimes, when you see the
heartbeat of the other person.
Yeah, you can see it sometimes when you see these famous people in a newspaper or somewhere, when he kisses her and she's like this, So yeah, absolutely.
Or they turn their shoulder so you can't even get front body contact. It's just they want to hugs, but you're only going to get part of me.
Yeah, part of me are just like escaping, trying to escape, But Christian, you mentioned something interesting. You said the different, when we talk about passion, the different languages we use. So it can be that, for example, I'm a kinesthetic person too, so I love to hug, I love to touch. My ex-girlfriend, not at all, so she didn't like it. Yeah, so she was more about talking. Yeah, I'm not very much talker, so it can happen that both love each other or have a passion for each other, but they show it on a different way, and the other one doesn't recognize it, that the other one is passionate and is in love.
Yeah.
I agree.
This is sad.
Because they're just having different languages.
Yes, exactly.
And it's not something you can fix easily. And it's just you try to fix something and you're not going to get what you desire down the road. Incrementally, you might be able to make a change, but if you want a light switch change, no, not going to happen.
Yeah, but this is something. If you if you know your own love language, if you know your own passion language, so you can start communicating that, and then things are getting easier and easier.
Well, part of it just all starts with talking. If you're not talking, then you're not sharing anything. And we talked, I think, 2 or 3 or 4 episodes back about sharing intimate thoughts with somebody, and there's a level of trust there, but usually that level of trust is kind of implicit. Well, not even implicit. It's explicit when you get married. Maybe you're just living with somebody. It may not necessarily be as explicit, but certainly, when you sign on the dotted line and you are now married to somebody, there's more than just an implicit relationship and level of trust that's there, because otherwise you would never have gotten that far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got I just a few days ago I read in one of those, I don't know what you call it, these journals we have in Germany, like scientific stuff, and they were writing there that when we hug each other, our I only know the Latin the Latin name, the solar plexus.
Mm-hmm.
Here, they're electrically infecting each other, like they're this is like a transformer in electricity. So if my current and the current of my hugging partner, we come together, that mixes, and this gives us energy on an electric way. So
think about it. Your heart is really driven by electricity.
Sure.
And so you have an electric field, you have the blood flowing, you have everything there. Yeah, it may not go out 2 or 3 inches from the body as far as being measurable, but you interface somebody,
It is measurable, right? It is measurable.
Yeah, but I don't know how far out it is measurable. Can you measure it at a half a mile? No. Can you measure it at 30 feet? Maybe. I don't know. But there's that. It's a measurable. But you put 2 people right together and they're there for more than just a couple seconds. Yeah, there's going to be some level of intertwining of those electrical currents. I can't understand. I can't not imagine it.
This is like, I think that the finest measuring instrument is a human. So when I enter a cafe and I'm in the right mood and I'm kind of charismatic and stuff like that, and there are 5 women sitting on the other end of the room, they will recognize me. Even if they don't see me, they will turn their heads because they feel me. This is sensible. This is great. Well, this is absolutely mind-blowing for me.
Well, something that's very interesting is we had a couple people on my show, The Wise Ones, and it was accidental that we happened to get into it. But these 2 people, totally independent and different, were big time into Argentinian ballroom dancing, which is some of the most sensual, because you are literally locked solar plexus to solar plexus at times with somebody dancing. And so when you think about when you're dancing, that interweaving of the electrical fields is there. But when you add the music to it, you add the movement, you add the other things to it, it enhances just the mere fact that you're standing still. And I think there's a lot to be said for that.
Of course, it's a line movement.
Yeah.
Of course.
Absolutely.
And so
this is so amazing. People are so amazing.
So when you were in the CIA, Christian, and you could scan the whole room, you could pick out the good guys and the bad guys pretty easily, especially the good girls.
I guess a lot of guys will contact you, Christian, and write an email through our website and say, "Hey, what's your secret? What are you doing? Teach me,
yeah,
Tiger."
Well, I can.
Yeah, but just like the heart, Yeah, the heart puts out waves, so does our brains. I mean, it's amazing. Those brain waves go all over, and some people are very nicely aligned. And how many times have you heard somebody say something, or you say something? I was just thinking about that. It's just it happens much more often than we care to think about. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it's not unusual for Christian to walk in and have that mental clarity with other people because, well, number one, he's trained his body, his brain in order to recognize it. A lot of us don't. And I think that's, kudos for Christian, because that's something special. And he should be aware. And same thing, I'm sure if there's danger there, he's going to pick it up also. I think that kind of,
in fact, the thing is, I don't think it's special. Everybody has that ability to do that.
Yeah.
Everybody. We're almost all built the same. Like our genetic code isn't that much different. So we all got a nose, we got ears, we stuff like that. So
but you have the ability to discern it at a more clear level than others, because you recognized it, and then you start recognizing it some more, and if we don't recognize it, we never, grow that skill.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you off, Roland.
Gentlemen, I have a question to you, because sometimes I hear, I don't have any passion anymore in my relationship. The passion is gone. My question is, can you lose passion? Because I don't understand it. Like terms like passion, love, or whatever. Can you lose it? Can you have it? Is it a decision, or that you are in love with somebody, or this is a clear, conscious decision that you have a passion for somebody? Or can you lose it? Or if you lose it, how do you get it back?
I'm sure you can lose it. The question is, it's up to you. I mean, it's like you have somebody who knows really competent for a job, and you say it's yours to lose, and they go in there and they screw up the interview and they lost the job. So yes, I think you can lose it, because if you're not paying attention to what you're doing, you're going to offend somebody. You're going to go over a line you shouldn't have gone over. There are a lot of things that we do, sometimes intentionally, not knowing it's intentional, sometimes intentionally because we don't want it. So I think it's, absolutely. I think we can do that. Now, can you get it back? Different animal.
Do you lose it, or is it gone somewhere else?
Yeah, that's what I just wrote. I think you don't lose it. It's just moving, because in scientific words, you can't lose energy. It's just transforming. It's going somewhere else. Like heat is going into movement or stuff like that. So I think if you are passionate in a relationship for a woman, and this doesn't work out anymore, so you shift your passion maybe to another woman, or to another man, or to whatever, to a car, to I don't know. So I think you don't really, it's not able to lose energy. It's just going elsewhere.
Yeah, but if you transform it into hate or something else, now you have another problem that shouldn't have been there to begin with, because you had an energy field that was established, was working. Okay, now that energy field has a different focus, whether it's a car, doesn't matter, another woman, doesn't matter. It's no longer focused where it needs to be. And then I'm a cause and effect kind of guy. That's what I do for a living. I look at, what caused the relationship to stop being as passionate as it was. And those are very hard things to pick out, because it's not a single thing. It's incremental things over a long period of time that somebody says, that's the final straw, no more. And it wasn't a big deal. It's just a tiny little thing, but it was just too many of those tiny little things.
Yeah.
But I believe when both men and women, as a couple, the passion is gone for any reason. Yeah. When both decide, okay, let's do a restart, that they can bring the passion back. But I guess it needs both who are willing to work on work on the relationship to bring the passion back. Do you think it's possible if both are willing to work on that?
Well, I think you hit it on the head a little while ago, Roland, when you said you're kinesthetic, and your girlfriend was more verbal. Well, it's part of our learning curve that, okay, if she's verbal and you're kinesthetic, that needs to be shared. So you can say, this is what I need occasionally, or, and you start sharing, as we talked, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, about that trust issue of being able to talk and being able to share some things, because a lot of times, we get put off, but okay, she doesn't have a need to know, or whatever it may happen to be. And now, you've short-circuited yourself from something that could have been because of whatever reason, have a half a dozen of them at least easily.
Mm-hmm.
Comes back to
Okay,
communication.
First thing, I really love this talk. You guys are great. You guys absolutely great. Thank you very much. I think, Roland, to your question, like, I think it's the healthiest way to start again. Like if both decide to do it, because if only one side starts, it's kind of like bending, and then maybe the personality will break, and then it's like, well, not healthy again. So it's toxic. So yeah, I think it's possible, and it's a good way to start from both sides. Like, yeah, one step the man, one step the women, or different. Well, but both are moving. That's a good way. And there was a comment like, our energy goes to ourselves to focus on our projects. This is something I think you have to be aware that you don't start losing people, because if you focus too much on yourself, you might lose some people, and that, well, I don't know. I like people, so I don't want to be alone, really. So maybe this is something to focus on. If you focus on your projects, don't start losing people you like.
Well, you also have other situations that happen in life. Let's say, somebody gets sick. They're in an automobile accident. They're laid up for a while. There are things that change very quickly in a relationship, and if that trust and that love and that passion is there, that's going to last throughout that entire relationship. Even sometimes with the drugs and other things, your hormonal imbalances, there's all sorts of things there that, oh, that's not the same person I married. Well, it is, but there's things going on in that person's mind that if we're not compensating for the fact that, it's the drugs talking, not the person. And then sometimes there's guilt because, one of the guys who used to work for me, his wife was driving, all of a sudden blowout, ran across the highway, a car went in the air, crashed, and killed several other people when it came down. And, he was a basket case for a long time. Well, he was, his wife was, and as a result, he was too. And so, there are things that happen, but, if we start a blame game, that there's just so many things that we are not, let's say, I don't want to use the word competent to handle. We just never been in that situation, and we don't have the experience how to handle to get us out of that situation. And I think that, just like you're talking about, you want to get two people back together. Well, if we've never done that, that's very difficult.
Yeah. This is one of the things, by the way, I like about NLP, as how I learned it. Yeah, like Richard Bandler said, so it teaches us flexibility. So this is great. If you are in a situation you never had before, you get some NLP on your mind, so it makes things quite easy.
Yeah, absolutely. I can agree with it, because sometimes, when life is really hitting me, it takes for me 2 hours, and then I'm okay again. Yeah, really. Doesn't matter what happened. I was really fucked. Sorry for this, YouTube. I was really fucked last week several times by the authorities and stuff like that. And then I crashed my motorhome. And today I was robbed, and somebody stole my two $10,000 or $12,000 Rolex today. They really robbed it from my arm. But I'm still okay. It smashes me down, and 2 hours later I'm here on the show, and I'm good. I'm always positive, and that's what I say. It's all about being flexible and taking the best part of it. But when I talk about that's why I'm very passionate about, for example, doing the show. That's why I always show up. But my question is, in relationship, is are there different forms of being passionate in a relationship?
Can you specify a little?
Yeah, what exactly is being? My question is, what exactly is being passionate in a relationship? What does it mean? It's your feeling. It is something that you feel about the other, or it is something that you do for the other. What is it? Or is it? What is it? Being passionate in a relationship. What is it?
For me, being passionate is the first thing is that I'm able and willing to show my emotion. The thing is not having it, but to show it. To be able to really speak it out. So, hey, I love you. Hey, this is great what you're doing. Hey, I like your food. Hey, you're looking great. Hey, stuff like that. So I love the way you walk, stuff like that. Being passionate is to have the courage to speak it out. This is, I think this is, to feel it first, of course. You have to know what you're feeling, and then to just let it out, and being respectful and stuff like that, and always worship the person.
Yeah, I totally agree, Christian. You hit it on the point. That has to happen, because the rest of it won't happen if that doesn't start it.
Yeah.
Okay, meaning to have a passion for somebody means to be very present and feel something positive, of course, and express it to the other person. Let the other person know.
I think. Sorry, Red.
Go ahead, Christian.
Thanks. I think negative emotions can also show passion. If you show someone, hey, I don't like what you're doing. I really don't like it. So you're really speaking from your heart. That's all. So, and this creates this polarity between two people, and this makes like magnetic stuff. So they come together again and they talk about it, or they do, well, bedroom things, stuff like that. So, and that equals it out. Everything's fine again. So we're smooth, stuff like that. So I think passion can be in all directions, in positive feelings, negative feelings, as long as it is in a good and healthy way.
And if you take that sine wave that you're talking about, that up and down roller coaster of good passion, bad passion, whatever, love-hate relationship of certain things, and you combine it with Roland's time frame of 2 hours, he can set his watch, okay, 2 hours, I'm going to be fine. And he knows that's his body, that's the way he reacts. I think we're knowing ourselves far better than a typical person, because we've been through these things and we know what it takes to diffuse something. Who is the guy? I can't think of the name. He used to use an expression, don't take that class. Basically it's, I don't want to go there. Don't talk about it. So he would be very quick in Christian's vernacular there of, I hate, it's before you even get to the hate, don't go there. Don't take that class. So occasionally my wife will say something, don't want to take that class, because we know that if you start going down that road, you're going to get emotions. You're going to start bubbling up in things that maybe you don't want to. I mean, that maybe another time you can do it, but right this minute, no. And I think that's a big thing to realize, that people have hot buttons, and if we continually poke the bear, it's not going to be a good scene.
Yeah. So I'm really making up my mind about what Roland said. Like, I'm trying something really, really strange now. I'm trying to get into a woman's mind. So I think when I would be a woman and I meet a guy who's that cool and that certain, like he's in 2 hours back to like normal. If he's getting robbed, if he's crashing his car, if he's losing his watch, stuff like that. And 2 hours later, he's the fine guy again, and he's cool. I would marry that guy. Sorry. This is something you can rely on. This is something you can rely on. This is a good one.
Thank you. Yeah, I just realized that that it's been robbed an hour and 15 minutes ago. No, that the point is, of course, I was shocked and a little bit. But what I learned in my life is, I can change it. Okay, why worry? I cannot change it. Why should I worry? Why worry? Why worry? Can I change it? I change it. I cannot change it. This situation I can't change. It's gone. It's gone forever. I cannot change it. So it is like it is. Why worry? Why should I spend the rest of the day, of the week, or the month of my life and worrying about things I cannot change? It happened. Bad, yes, but life goes on.
Don't worry. Be happy.
Don't worry. Be happy.
Yeah.
It is like it is. I don't know. But Christian, I want to refer something that you mentioned before. We talked about passions, that negative emotion that come up. Somebody's screaming at you and said, "No, I don't like it." Then it's this. To be honest, gentlemen, I'm very open now. This was a huge learning, and at the beginning, it was a huge confusion for me with my last relationship, because she was very, very emotional, and she was shouting at me and screaming at me and really hitting me when I did something wrong, really extremely. And I was always so shocked. And then I was even more shocked that even she was so upset with me or whatever. Yeah, she was furious. she didn't leave. She stood in a relationship because my experience was when my dad was upset with me, and he was almost all the time upset with me because he was upset with himself. But anyway, my learning was, okay, somebody's screaming at me. This person doesn't like me. And I was always escaping. And then I learned this in this relationship, because the other relationship was not like that. And this was somebody screaming at me, and I said, oh, fuck. I always tried to escape. And then said, oh, she's still there, because she took an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, half a day by themselves. She came back and everything was fine. And I said, oh, that's strange. I never experienced this in my life before. Never, ever. That's a learning. That's actually a learning. And I learned that because I never expressed negative emotions in a relationship. I never did it. Never, ever. When I was pissed off with somebody, shutting down, working on myself on that, not healthy. And at the end, it was not healthy for the relationship. So that's my message to the gentlemen out there watching us. Express your emotions and learn to express your emotion. First of all, recognize them, what you have, get into it, what you're really feeling, and then talk about it.
But the timing issue, I think, is something, because let's say that, Roland, you're a runner, for instance, and you had a bad experience, car wreck, whatever, and you're able to just go out and run for 5 miles and you come back. I mean, the endorphins, just that everything, changes. We have a lot of ways of getting rid of that stress. I use EFT a lot, emotional freedom techniques. That's, the tapping and stuff. And I find that if I do it for less than 5 minutes, it's worthless. But if I do it for 8 minutes or more, it's very highly effective. And so if I'm sitting I'll leave the gym in the morning, I sit in the car and I got a bunch of things I need to get done. I go through a routine. I'll set the clock for, alarm clock for 10 minutes. Then I know when it goes off that I have enough reinforcement in what I want to do, wherever my focus is for that particular day, that I can use those freedom techniques to get myself going. But if I don't put that much time into it, and whether that time is 2 hours according to the clock or half hour running or whatever it may have, there are ways that we can accelerate, our explosion of badness, for lack of a better word, back down to some sense of normalcy, that we can get back into our life and live comfortably.
I love this movement you did. This from here. This is Tai Chi. You did Tai Chi right now.
Well, I was doing the tapping moment and it may have come down in that same vein of the, calming the body, calming the brain.
Great.
I like the Qigong and the Tai Chi both.
Oh yeah, that's great stuff. Great stuff.
Yes, absolutely. Gentlemen, in a relationship, to keep the passion or keep the fire on, let's call it, keep the fire on, is it necessary that both have maybe work together, have a project together, have a hobby together? Is this necessary or not?
I don't know if you could if you can put it that way, like if it's necessary or not. I think it's an individual decision. Like for some, yes, for others, no. So go talk to each other, hug each other, and find out.
Yeah, I think in some cases probably so. Especially if you're passionate. Let's say that I'm passionate about. Back when I was a teenager, getting into my early 20s. Every one of our friends, we played cards. I mean, saw hearts and spades. I mean, hours. That was part of our passion back then. We get together at somebody's house, 6-8 people, and the cards came out. And you get somebody who's a really good partner, and later on I'll join the Navy, and we were in bridge clubs and things like that in your social setting. There's a lot of things there you can do together, and that you almost have that ability to talk without saying anything. And so I think that there's some things there. Now you want to take something a little bit more mundane, cooking, gardening, whatever it may happen to be. There's probably some other painting. There's probably some other things there that, well, maybe body painting might work. Never mind.
Yeah. Woo.
So there are things that I think that you can combine and have a better passionate relationship, because they are both levels of passion increased because you're both doing it. But if there's something there that my wife loves to do that I don't, I don't think that's going to happen, and vice versa. We recognize, okay, I'm not into crocheting or something or whatever it may happen to be. That's not my, you want to crochet, go for it. But come back again in a couple hours. Just, let's just bury yourself there for 2 days crocheting.
Well, I guess
I
it's
absolutely
helpful
agree.
to have, when you have a passion, a common passion for a hobby or an activity or a sports club or something like that. I guess it's helpful, or not?
Yeah, travel especially for me.
Oh yeah.
Traveling, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because you're both sharing experiences at the same time, and you're getting instant feedback from each other. Well, how was that? Well, did you, there's just all sorts of things, and then she sees something that's different than I see, or somebody. My wife is very, very good. I mean, exceptionally good about seeing. You talk about NLP. Boy, she is like honed in on some of that stuff. And she says, what's wrong with that guy? I have no idea. And it turns out 2 weeks later, I find out he's in the middle of a divorce or something. But so she has the ability to kind of see in between the seams that I never knew there was a problem. Oh yeah, big time. Can't you see it? No, I can't. Yeah, I haven't been trained right. But NLP is a very effective tool, and I think in relationships and passion, it's probably a very desirable one to have, because you can see things instantly. Just a little frown in the face or something. There's something that happened. I mean, my wife and I were in San Antonio a couple of days ago, and we were sitting there eating, and all of a sudden something happened, and she saw my face, and she said, "Okay, what did you just see?" And it was just, I didn't think it was that long, but she saw something there, and so I commented what I happened to see, which was unusual, and nothing, that was it. But she saw that instantly, and it's just one of those things. I think it helps a relationship when you know that there's something the other person can see or feel that you experience.
Exactly.
But I guess there's a difference between I'm interested in something or I have a passion for something.
Yes. Yes. There's a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Being interested is a mind's game, and having passion is a heart's game.
Emotional,
heart and brain.
Absolutely.
Well, we're doing
pretty
guys,
well. That's a good one.
Yeah, a couple of minutes left in the session today. I think we covered a lot of territory.
Yeah, absolutely. So my question to you, Red, is because you've been married for a long time happily. What's your secret of being still passionate in a relationship? What's your secret?
Well, I get asked that question. It will be 55 years in July. And I think the one thing that makes that relationship last is you don't change somebody. You accept everything that's there. If there's a change to happen, the other person is going to say, can you help? But if you try to change somebody, neither one of the two people are going to be happy. I think I've mentioned this in shows before. You love that person. You became emotionally attached to that person because of them, whatever they were doing. 20 years later, they may not be doing the exact same thing, but it's still the same person. And if there's something there, I wish you wouldn't do that. Well, you might express it one time to let them know that's not what you like, but you don't harp on it every other day, because that's not passion, number one. It's miscommunication, number two. It's not something that you want to develop a relationship on, because now you're starting to dive over that edge, and you don't want to hit that bottom on that one. Like, don't take that class. It's not one of those that Jim Rohn used to say that a lot. That's the guy who did that one. But as long as you communicate all the time, and I think that's good. But I think the big thing is, don't change someone. Accept what's there, be flexible. Go out of your way to okay, look, it is what it is. I can't change. Just like Roland said earlier, I can't change it. Don't worry about it. Be happy. Well, be happy with something you don't like, because it's such a minor thing. And if it's there, you can grow to like it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I experienced in my last relationship. She always tried to change me. I didn't try to change her, because I said, there's some good stuff, there's some bad stuff, there's more good than bad stuff. So I'm still okay. So but some people try to change you all the time, and it's not working.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's been great today, guys.
I think one last maybe. I think one thing that Red is really good at is humor. Because I think if you don't have a good sense of humor, man, you won't make it that long.
Yeah.
Even if it's dry humor.
So what?
Absolutely.
But you're right.
Oh,
I think it adds to the personality when you can do that on a regular basis. It makes you feel good too. I mean, it's just no doubt about it. We feel better when we're laughing, we're smiling, we're happy, and so you have that. You're sharing that happiness with somebody else, and it's contagious.
Absolutely, it's humor. Absolutely, it's same to me. No, but something happened. I have a shock face, but I try to keep it as short as possible. And then go with humor and with fun, and the world is still turning around and beautiful. Absolutely,
it's like in Life of Brian. You know, the last scenes.
Yeah.
Always look on the bright side of life.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like Gomez dodging the knives. It's coming from Morticia. I still love you. I still love you, even though the knife.
Absolutely. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and your experience and open up. And I really want to encourage our audience, contact us, go to our main website. It's bonfiretalks.com. You can find the recordings of the show, and also you can email us if you want to add something, discuss something to the previous show, to this current show, or you have a topic that you want to have discussed on the show, or you want to become a guest on our show. Let us know. You're more than welcome, because it's all about sharing and caring and spreading the message that man should talk to man. Christian.
But don't write us. Don't call us if you want to work with us, okay? Don't.
That's fine. Thank you, Christian. Okay, gentlemen, see you backstage. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot. Next Wednesday, same time, same procedure with a new topic. Thanks and bye-bye.
Bye.